All right, today we are continuing with triangles, and we're going to look at two different types of triangles. So the first triangle we're going to look at is called an isosceles triangle. So an isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two equal sides. And if it has two equal sides, that means that it also has two equal angles. So how you would see that shown is there would be a mark on one side, a tick mark, and then on the side across from it, there would be another tick mark. So these marks mean that these two sides are the same length. So if one side is 5, the other side is also 5. If one side is 72, the other side is also 72. The two sides are the same. And then the bottom side, you might see two tick marks. This means that it's different. So it could be 72, 72, and the bottom could be 16. But it'll be a different number. And then we'll also have two equal angles. So the angles that are equal are going to be across from the tick mark. So this mark points at the angle. So here, this mark points at this other bottom angle. So these two bottom angles are also equal. So if this angle is 45 degrees, this other angle is 45 degrees. If this angle is 37 degrees, the other angle is also 37 degrees. So this is an isosceles triangle. Two equal sides, two equal angles. And then our other triangle is called an equilateral triangle. So within this, you can kind of hear the beginning of the words equal, equilateral. So what this means is that all three sides are equal. Three equal sides. So that means if this side has a tick mark, all the other sides will have a mark on them. So that means if this first side is 12, then this other side is 12, and the bottom is 12. If this first side is 26, the second side is 26, the bottom is 26. All three sides are equal. And if all three sides are equal, that also means that all three angles are equal. So that means 1, 2, 3 are all the same size. And since we know a triangle, the three corners have to equal 180, that means all three corners will always be 60 degrees. Because 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180. This is the only number where you add three of them to equal 180. So an equilateral triangle, the angles will always be 60 degrees because they have to be equal. And then the sides, those can change, but they'll all be the same number. So let's look at a couple of examples with isosceles and equilateral triangles. So here in our first example, it says use the diagram to find X and to find OM. And since we have two letters, we're looking for a side here. O all the way down to M. So first though, we need to find X. So if we look so far, we know O to M is 2X plus 5. And then we've got our tick mark. So that means that this side, OM, is equal to the other side where the other mark is, to WM. But there is nothing on WM. So we're not going to start with these sides. But if we look, remember We want to go across from the side to get the angle, across from the side to get the angle, and we can see in our two equal angles that angle O is 50 degrees and angle W is x plus 30. So we know that angle O is equal to angle W. So I can say, okay, well, angle O is 50 degrees, and that is going to be equal to angle W, which is x plus 30. So now I can work and solve this. So here I want to know what number plus 30 will equal 50. So I can subtract 30 from both sides and get that x equals 20. So the first part, it said to find x, so I have x. X equals 20. But now I still need to find OM. So if I look here, O to M, I have 2x plus 5. So now that I know x is 20, I can rewrite this with 20 in the parentheses. So to get my answer, I can use my calculator and I can look for 2 times 20 plus 5. When we press enter, we get 45. So for our answer, for our second answer, OM equals 45. So if you have an isosceles, you're either going to have two equal angles or two equal sides, but it'll always be equal. All right, and then on our second problem, we want to find the value of x and AB. So here I've got A all the way down to B, but there's nothing here. So let's look at our tick marks. I've got one on this side, one on this side, and one on the bottom. So that means this is an equilateral triangle. So I know all three sides are the same. So if this bottom side is 2x, that means that AB is also 2x. And I could also say that AC is 2x. But that will not help me find x. So if I go to look at the angles, I know that all three angles are equal. And since it's equilateral, I also know that each angle is 60 degrees. So if I look at angle A, it says that angle A is 4x minus 20. But I also know that angle A is equal to angle C, and it's equal to angle B. So if angle A is equal to angle B, I could say that 4x minus 20 equals 60 degrees. So I can use my calculator to help me find our answer. I can go to Math, up, Enter, and here I can type in 4x minus 20, and then on bottom I would type 60. If I press Enter, alpha graph, I'll get x equals 20. And again, if you want to work it out, you could add 20 to both sides. So these 20s cancel. I would get 4x equals 80. 60 plus 20 is 80. And then I can divide both sides by 4 to get that x equals 20. So we found x, but we still need to find AB. So we said earlier that AB is 2x. So just like on the last problem, I can rewrite this, but here I can plug in 20 for x. So when I work out 2 times 20, I'll get that AB equals 40. So there's my second answer. All right, so now you're going to have some practice to look at isosceles and equilateral triangles.